Hello everybody and welcome back to Ethiopia, where we have jumped back in time to where this crisis is still happening. Now, this is exactly the same place we were at the beginning of the previous episode, because I wanted to see what happened if we handled the crisis a little bit differently. So let's just go ahead and continue ticking forward until we get to our divergence point, and I'll tell you exactly where that is when it pops up, assuming it does. I think it's kind of RNG, but we'll see. Because I would rather take the prestige hit than have Egypt and the UK just declare on us anyway, because that's just annoying that they would do that. But let's go ahead and do exactly like we did before, which was to go for collectivist theory next. Now, before that was done, we were at war. France just accepted the crisis offer. Again. Okay, so does Egypt declare on us again? I'm assuming they do. Can we perhaps ally Russia? No, we absolutely cannot. What about France? No. What about America? No. Okay. They won't accept primarily because of too many alliances, government type, distance, army strength, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fair enough. So I'm interested to see if Egypt declares on us, because France did this a lot faster this time. What happens if we reload again? Like, hypothetically, if we just keep reloading, do we get a scenario where France doesn't just do that? We're not in control of this, so I don't like that. The crisis system, and in the future, I will probably just not allow crises to develop and just take the prestige hit. But I'm interested to see how different each of these runs is. So France is going to, at some point, decide not to do this. We'll go ahead and get exactly the same research that we were doing before. And I'm on speed 5 right now just to speed through this and see how this is going. Nigeria. I'm going to concede the point. Preacher man. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So my question is, why does France decide not to do this? They're not at war with anybody. And from what I can tell, France is much, much stronger in terms of their alliance. Okay, we're going to concede the point here. That was a different crisis? Okay, that's intriguing, to be sure. And now France accepts the crisis offer. Huh. So we have literally no control over this, but it's actually quite variable. Like, this time it took them until the 24th of January 1916 to do it. Let's go ahead and try one more time. Because this is very interesting to me. And then we might try... Actually, let's try loading into France and see what's going on there. I'm not going to change anything here. I'm just interested in seeing what their situation is. So, they have a fairly sizable military. They're building a whole bunch of factories and forts. Like, an awful lot. Look at this income. Their military spending is pretty decent. Interesting. So what options do they have here in the crisis? They have the option to propose solution. Now, the British would not accept this. Interesting. So I'm just going to bump the speed up to speed 5, And we're just going to leave Ethiopia here. We're going to load back into Ethiopia. I'm not going to save this, but I'm interested in seeing what the option that pops up here that France accepts is. Yeah, we're not going to change any of that stuff. We can increase opinion or add Ethiopia to our sphere of influence. Okay, fair enough. They would not accept this offer. Would this cause the war if we propose this? Let's find out. They rejected it. But that didn't cause a war. Okay. So the only way that the war happens is if this fills. And how many reasons do they have to accept this? It doesn't actually say. Crisis solution offer. So this is what happens. France accepts this. The AI does. What happens if we decline it? I'm assuming at this point we're just going to war. And that there's no way around it. Like I said, I'm mostly interested in figuring out this crisis system, so... The UK is pretty desperate here. Ethiopia sent an alliance offer. That's interesting. Now the AI I did check wouldn't accept that. We're going to decline this again, and I'm assuming that this is just going to create a war. And once this happens, I'm just going to reload. Okay. So Belgium joined us. This is the Second Great War. This has become a Great War. Fascinating. So let's see who takes what sides. I see, look at this. The UK, Germany, Italy, blah blah blah. Who else important? Brazil, kind of important. Versus France, Ethiopia, the Russian Empire, Austria, Hungary, and Belgium. So that's why France accepts this. Gotcha. And then, of course, the next question is, once this ends... Like, we're not going to win this Great War. That's pretty obvious. So I'm going to jump back here. And this is a situation of my own creation. So I'm going to jump back in time a little bit further until, let's see, I believe this save should be far enough back. We play this. Yeah, the crisis hasn't started yet. So now I know exactly how the crisis situation works. And we can come back in time a little bit because that was going to completely destroy us. That was going to be a game ender. So I'm going to come back in time here, and now that I understand how the crisis plays out and how the alliance web works with all of this stuff, now I know to just completely avoid it. Okay, so let's go ahead and tick forward here. And with that knowledge... this is our new timeline, now that I know exactly what's happening with all of the crisis stuff. The way I was looking at it was just that the players involved were going to be in, but apparently they call in all of their war allies once the Great War becomes a thing. So with that knowledge, that means that anything that the UK is on the side of right now is basically going to win. At least the way it's shaping up right now. Because the UK is just much stronger than anyone else, not in their individual strength, but in their alliance web. So that's what we need to keep an eye on. Now France is currently fighting somebody else. And this war that they're in, and this Great War, ends up substantially weakening France, even though France is not on the losing side of it. And that's what ended up causing the weakening of our side of the crisis. So that makes complete sense now. I understand what exactly was happening there, and realistically, I still think it's a bunch of crap that France can just give this away from us, and then the UK can still fight us. Like, that should really create a truce, but now I know that just giving up the prestige is completely worth it. So, since I'm still learning how to play this game, that is ultimately a good thing to know. Now, one thing to note is that we have not done all of our research point research just yet. So, we're going to go through that ASAP. Now, are we also currently encouraging craftsmen? Yes, we are. Let's go ahead and remove that and do like we did before and encourage some clergy over here. Clergy is this one. Excellent. And that will increase our research points quite substantially. Okay, what were we doing for factories over here? That is not ideal. I'm going to have to remember what we were doing here. And that was, we were building fabric factories. Once we had the tech, we were going to build a dye factory. And then a regular and luxury clothing factory is what we were doing here. Okay, that's easy enough to remember. An alliance offer from Persia. We accepted that previously, and so I'm still going to do that. Persia actually ended up being a pretty decent ally. They just couldn't stand up to the UK, and again, that was entirely my mistake. If I had understood the way the crisis system works in the Great War era, I would not have gone for that, because that is definitely not a good thing to do. I completely understand why France backed down now. The poor, poor Ottomans. But we did learn one thing, and that is that we can actually beat Egypt. We can absolutely demolish Egypt, actually, if we were able to fight them alone. They're in the sphere of the UK, which is a problem for us. I wish we'd get sphered by a great power, but that doesn't seem to be a thing. So we're on our own. Now let's go ahead and start constructing a fabric factory. Was what we were going to do here. And then we were going to build a regular clothes, luxury clothes, dye, and what was the other one that we were going to do? I can't actually remember. Was that maybe like luxury furniture? Yeah, I think it was going to be a luxury furniture factory. Do these produce timber? Timber into lumber. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't have a source of timber. So that wouldn't be a good idea for us. Now our taxes are on the low side right now. That's perfectly fine. And we are currently importing a bunch of things. So that is, again, all to be expected. We should probably continue expanding our railroad network, particularly up over here. It looks like that was something that we lost because I was working on that, but then we went back in time, and that's no longer a thing. Okay, so we'll do that. Gwalior went bankrupt. Okay, that's a little annoying. We currently do have some loans that we've given people, and that's helping us stay afloat. And we've built a few railroads. So yeah, I think ultimately we want to stay at peace. And now that I know the way that the crisis system works, I just want to stay away from it. I will take the prestige hits. I don't think it's too important that we keep our prestige up, ultimately, when given the option, because that was just a bad situation. But I mean, we'll see if the event even pops in this timeline. Things are going to be a little different. There's no doubt about that. See, we're already expanding down over here. Let's go ahead and do this one. Did we take a loan? No, we did not. Okay. I'm completely fine with that. Our upper house is looking pretty decent again. Fantastic. So that Great War is going to be finishing up pretty soon, and then they're going to start looking for a new one. Horstrata gaining militancy? That's fine. They can do that. The militancy should, theoretically, start going down at some point. I hope. That would be nice. Let's see, we're already maxed on our railroads over here, correct? Correct. We're not over here. So let's go ahead and expand our railroads there in Accordat. And let's see here, the Great War is over. And it looks like it was pretty much exactly the same result. That's not a surprise, considering we came in at pretty much the same time. However, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, subscribe for more, and next episode, we're going to see if we can get caught back up to the previous timeline. See you all then.